Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Primary Market Chatter, brought to you by Sunday Investing. This is the December 3rd week edition. We are doing part one today, and we'll be doing part two tomorrow. Talking about it more, but yeah, I just want to highlight that today Rohit and Yash won't be able to join, so it will just be Tanmay and me, and we'll be talking about two mainboard companies, IKS. We'll be starting with IKS and then be talking about one SME, which is Hamps Bio, and then the second company we'll be talking about will be IGI. So that's the plan for the day. And then probably tomorrow, what we will be doing is we'll be talking about the three other SME issues that are closing, including Yash High Voltage. I heard there were a few questions with respect to why are we not covering Yash High Voltage. It's just that Yash is not here and he is the in-house expert on Yash High Voltage. He has been following the company for quite some long, and Rohit has also studied the company. So I wanted to talk about it when they are going to be there. That's why हमने ये किया कि आज हम एक space करेंगे और कल एक और space करेंगे. And in the spirit of Sunday investing, we wanted to do a space on Sunday as well, which we keep changing. But yeah, that is what the plan for the day is. I'm hoping that's okay with everyone. So just to repeat, आज हम IKS, IGI और हब्स बायो की बात करेंगे एंड उसके बाद कल जो है हम बाकी तीन कंपनीज की बात करेंगे. एंड बिफोर वी गेट स्टार्टेड, जस्ट वांट टू हाईलाइट दैट a couple of things which you would have already known if you have been following the channel for long. But if you have somehow strolled into the space for the first time, just want to make sure that I put in the reasonable disclaimers. We are not SEBI registered research analysts to be able to give recommendations. Please do not take anything as apply or not apply recommendation. It's just a fundamental read from our side. Do definitely आप अपना due diligence करें and उसके basis पे ही take any decision. Second thing which I want to highlight is that the link to the YouTube channel is in the pinned comments above. If you are not following the YouTube channel, not subscribing to the YouTube channel, please go ahead and do that right now. ये जो spaces हैं, ये हम वहाँ पे categorized तरीके से pin करके from time zones डालते हैं, so you can follow them at your own leisure. Also, let us know if you find the current format of the space of the videos better, and if there's anything else that you would want us to do. Right now, we have started doing some editing around it, and I'm also learning and playing and seeing how it works. But if there's anything else that you would want us to do, definitely put it in the comments as well. We will look at that. Now, just one more thing, that if there's any questions with respect to the open issues, definitely post them in the chat box. We'll be taking them as well. And today it will be a slightly lightish issue since we are doing only three companies, and it makes sense also because like if we do a lot of companies, we feel that we kind of lose the track. One last thing before I get started is just wanted to talk about Sai Life. I understand a lot of people had applied to Sai Life. So if you had applied to Sai Life, just post in the comment saying that you had applied, and did it help? I remember we had put in a comment that go ahead and apply Sai Life. Did it help? And GMP has been all over has been continuously increasing. We really hope that it stays and we get a very good listing in our hands. I also applied pretty solid in Sai Life and definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, with that, maybe we can get started with today's episode. So the first company that we'll be talking about is Inventurous Knowledge Systems, or IKS Health as we call it. The company is a healthcare technology company that provides services to enterprises, doctors, and other healthcare providers. It provides services such as clinical support, medical documentation management, virtual medical scribing, etc. So basically जो यूएस में पेयर्स होते हैं उनके लिए ये कंपनी काम करती है और उनकी डॉक्यूमेंटेशन स्क्रिबिंग वगैरह में काम करती है. There was a company which recently got listed, Sagility. This company can be thought of as a peer to that company. Moving forward, talking about the company IPO details, the company is bringing in an IPO of 2500 CR, all of which is a offer for sale. There's no fresh issue. No growth capital is being raised by the company. All of it is going to give an exit to the promoters. It's coming at a market cap of 22,802 crores. अगर मैं फाइनेंशियल्स की बात करूं, द कंपनी डिड 1857 crores in FY24 एट अ टॉप लाइन, और बॉटम लाइन में कंपनी ने 370 crores बनाए थे. सो अगर मैं 370 crores और 22,800 की मार्केट कैप देखूं तो कंपनी काफी रिचली वैल्यूड आ रही है, अराउंड 60-61 पीई पे आ रही है. In terms of the LMs, ICICI, Jefferies, JM Financial, and JP Morgan are the LM for the company. So maybe Tanmay, do you want to start with IKS Health and provide your read of the company?
Am I audible?
Yes.
So Inventurous Knowledge Solutions Limited, in short form it's known as IKS Healthcare. This company is a technology-enabled healthcare services provider to enterprise based in the United States, Canada, and Australia. Okay, this company provides administrative work, helping doctors and healthcare solutions providers by handling their paperwork, administrative services, clinical support, medical documentation, virtual medical scribbling, VBC, RCM, and coding services. मतलब basically what this company does is, if there is an insurance company or an doctor, so उनको एक backend services देता है, like coding हो गया, virtual medical scribbling, like you know कि ये insurance sector में या फिर healthcare sector में ये एक बहुत बड़ा होता है कि language का भी coding में दिक्कत होता है, या फिर जो prescriptions होते हैं वो होता है, फिर data management होता है, सारा क्लिनिकल सपोर्ट, बैकएंड सपोर्ट होता है, लाइक एन बीपीओ, तो ये सारा सर्विसेज ये कंपनी प्रोवाइड करती है. This company provides these services to multi-speciality medical groups and health system, almost 650 to 700 clients इनके. This company has 13,500 employees. Okay, so it's a very large organization in terms of employees and the work size. So this company is raising 2,498 crores, completely an OFS. It's concluded by the Junjunwala family, the promoters and their ex-employees and ex-company executives. Okay, so, I'll just come to its financials. This company did a revenue of 1,031 crores and a PAT of 305 crores, and the EBITDA margin was 38%. Okay, FY24 the company did a revenue of 1818 crores. It was a roughly 78% jump, and the PAT was 370 crores. The thing interesting here is the PAT grew by just 20% even after the revenue jumping by roughly 75 to 80%. The EBITDA margin fallen from 38% to 30.8%. In H1, the company did a revenue of 1,282 crores, which was roughly a 50% jump. 40% jump, and it delivered a PAT of 208.6 crores, and the EBITDA margin further fallen to from 30.8% to 28%. So if you just annualize it, just 416 crores means the revenue is growing by roughly 30%, and the PAT is growing by just 10%. Okay, but the thing is, like, you need to understand what are these fluctuations and why it has happened. So this company acquired a US-based similar kind of services provider, especially in the scribbling side, Equity Holdings Inc. So this company did a revenue of 1,347 crores in FY24, and its net loss, this loss-making company at 68 crores. But the revenue shown in FY24 is just after the integration of this company in IKS, which was from, I guess, from the, I think, August or October month. So what FY24 figures are seen is just at that half contribution from equity and the rest at IKS standalone level. But if you just see this financials, special consolidated, and pro forma console, this all four different figures are given in the RHP, so you can just go through that. But if you just see the post consolidated figures of complete FY24, means if the company was acquired on April 1st 2024, and what would be the financial figures of this company, the revenue would have been 2,650 crores of revenue in front of 1,800, and the PAT would have reduced from 370 to 255 crores. Means in FY24, the real earnings at console level, if the company's whole earnings are considered, the PAT is just 255 crores, but the revenue is at, and almost 50% up is 2,650 crores. So this company is coming at a P of 89 times FY24. And the EBITDA, I'll just tell you the number. On pre-console level, it's at 42 times. And I think post-console, the number is like roughly 50 times. And you know, Sagility came at a EBITDA of roughly 15 times at the IPO. Now this is coming at roughly 50 times, which is more than triple. This company is valued at 22,800 crores. I think it was expected, this company, that will get valued at roughly 21,500, but at last moment the price band increased by 5 to 7%. I don't know the reason. On P level, if you see FY24, it is valued at 61.6 times. But if I consider equities, numbers post console from the pro forma level, it's at 89 times, and FY24 TTM basis, it's 55 times. Now see, here are 2-3 different things that how we should consider this company. The company's scale has drastically increased just because of its acquisition. And we as a retail investors don't know how a complete year with that equity holdings acquisition will look like, because the H1 numbers is including the acquisition, but the EBITDA margins have fallen and fully integration is not yet done. And the company is looking for more acquisition. So I feel we should wait for 2 more quarters to see how the company delivers its numbers. But if I just see, to be very honest, to get the expected FY26 numbers post consolidation after the operating leverage kicks in, these numbers I am personally yet to make those calculations because they are extremely complex and I haven't got that time. Manish Bhai knows that from last 6-7 days my schedule is very tough, so I haven't done that. But prima facie, this company is actually a very interesting IPO. I'll just tell the pre-IPO investors in this company. I think there was a roughly 1200 crores raise. Means this 2500 OFS plus 1200 is complete, is been raised completely on OFS. The OFS, these pre-IPO or the secondary placement investors were 361 Wealth, which is popularly known as IFL. Second one was Ace Investor Ravi Dharamshi, Amal Parekh, Madhusudan Kela, Malabar Fund, Think India Opportunities Fund, and Ashoka White Oak Mutual Fund and Ashoka Mutual Fund. Okay, now what I personally feel is this company can be viewed as a pure play listing gain company or a pure play long-term company. You actually cannot mess the both things together. You know, to be very honest to this, making a decision for this IPO is extremely tough because you see the premium is looking like it's roughly 30-35%. One will say कि यार आपके बताने से फर्क नहीं पड़ता, premium दिख रहा है, ये stock listing पे पैसा बना के देगा. I'm not saying it cannot deliver, but fundamentally, if I was a person who is going to what you can say, I was going to discover the price for its listing, it would not be anything more than 5-10% from the issue price. So it's a very critical kind of a company, and I think I'm yet to make my complete calculations. So I feel as of now, this is a medium risk taker for listing gains and a pure play long-term kind of a play. But as I'll post my final verdict after getting this complex calculations, and on that you can refer and give a more weightage to take a decision on this IPO, which should be done tomorrow evening. What I feel is.
Got it. थैंक्स तन्मय. मेरा एक आध क्वेश्चन है आपसे. जैसा आपने बोला कि कंपनी का रेवेन्यू बढ़ गया है आफ्टर एक्विजिशन एंड पैट कम हो गया है. सो इफ यू आर लुकिंग एट इट लेट्स से इन टर्म्स ऑफ अ फ्यूचर स्टोरी, मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन तो हाउ डू यू लुक एट इट इन टर्म्स ऑफ पीयर्स? हु डू यू थिंक वुड यू कंसिडर एज पीयर्स? एंड इफ यू हैव टू लुक एट अ मेट्रिक अदर देन पी, से revenue by market cap to sales or something like that, where would this stand? Like, is it expensive, very expensive, cheap, and how is the market going to view this company?
There are 3-4 different things around this. I think it's a very valid and a very good question. See, first I'll come to its competitors. See, now this company is also in medical scribbling and this also clinical management, and one more I guess was coding services. This all 3 services is provided by Indigene. Okay, which was listed I think 6-8 months back. It also provides to the US clients and 18 out of world's top 20 healthcare companies. It provides a similar kind of services. See, in the RHP they haven't given a single peer. But if you can just go segment wise now, how Sai Life shown ki this drug discovery division does, drug manufacturing Suven does, and the third middle step was done by senior. So they have shown, so the similar kind of thing goes here. They haven't shown any kind of peer, but there are peer. Indigene does this 3 out of 7 things what IKS does. Sagility also provides administrative services. They also do the medical what we can say description and virtual medical, that is also done by Sagility. I think one more company I am not able to, I feel it can also be partly compared with someone like First Source, but yes, you cannot say First Source as in competitive, very small overlapping, but Indigene and Sagility can be compared with this company who are available at half of its valuation. Now the second thing, how should we compare this company? First of all, sales to market cap doesn't make a sense because this company has been a significant acquisition, inorganic expansion doing company, and what I know is this company will continue to do so. It will still acquire companies post listing, and I will not be surprised if there is a acquisition on a table immediately after 2 or 3 months post listing, or even 1 month, or even 4 or 5 months. So that's going to happen, and we cannot judge this company on revenues. But yes, if you are going to judge it on revenues, it's like 22,800 crore market cap divided by 2650, which is roughly 8.5 times. I think 8.5 times revenue is not at all, at any level, not cheap. You can just go and see Sagility, where Sagility stands. What else? I need to check the numbers, but give me 30 seconds. I'll just tell you the numbers.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, maybe one more question is, अगर मेरे को कहीं से peer लाना ही हो जो थोड़ा richly valued हो, can I look at a Medi Assist as a peer is my question, because again I was
You
looking.
see, this is not a TPA kind of service. You can compare a bit 20, 30, 40% with Sagility, someone like MediAssist, but the overlapping just 10, 20% with IKS. What I personally feel is now. Sagility is going to do roughly 5,800 to 6,000 crore revenue, and it's available at a market cap of 18,600, means sharp 3 times, 3x sales upon market cap. Sorry, market cap upon sales. And this company is coming at roughly 8.5 times. And you can just check the PE on popular investor retailers valuation style, because they don't know anything beyond PE. So on PE level, post console, IKS is coming at an IPO at 89 times. Sagility is expected to do 680 to 700 crores PAT this financial year FY25. It's available at 18,000, which is roughly 26 times, 27 times. I think the valuation scope is extremely huge, and this is a pure play long term or an extremely high risk taking or just a pure play listing in candidate. I think making a decision on this IPO is actually very tough, but I'm just going to work on the numbers, and maybe if I can just reduce my sleep tonight, I'll just post it today itself. I'll try my level best to post it today night, 1 or 2, but I'm yet to do those calculations, and I think they are going very complex. Actually, I sat for 20 minutes, but I couldn't get those numbers actually properly. I need to get some modules or something. But overall, this is a kind of a risk game, because, and I think one more thing to add is 54% of companies owned by late Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's family, and you know कि वो सारा जूस पी लेते हैं, IPO का प्राइसिंग करते हैं, कुछ नहीं रखते हैं. Similar thing was done in the Style Bazaar recently, Bajaj Style. It was, I won't say it was expensive, but even it doesn't give much scope for listing. It was good for long term. The second one was Star Health. The third one was this, I guess Metro Brands. Metro Brands did well because that was a euphoria kind of a thing. But majority of Mr. Jhunjhunwala's stocks don't do well on listing. But his anchor book was very good. Pre-IPO investors are good. Valuations are surely on expensive side. 22,800 crore market cap doesn't make a sense. For me, at least for me, because this is not an extremely critical technology company. It's a good company growing with a fast pace just because of the inorganic expansions. And this company was a debt free. So last year, now it has raised 900 crores debt. That interest payment cost of roughly 80 crores is going to hit its PNL in FY26, what I personally feel is, and even in the H2. So how to value this company first is a major question. The second, what will be FY25 or 26 expected earnings post console of all these 2-3 different companies? That numbers we have to find the clarity. And long term prospects are, valuations are 8 times यार market cap to sales मुझसे तो नहीं होगा यार personally. I cannot bet on that company. मतलब मैं even defense company को भी उतना multiple नहीं देता हूँ. तो I need to review this company again after this space.
Got it. Maybe next question, which I would want to check: are you planning to apply for short term in this company? I am probably going to skip, not because of anything else, but because I have applied everything in Silite till the last minute. So my plan was to apply 9 SHNI here. That is what I discussed with Tanmay as well, right? But फिर उसके बाद
Yes.
हमने वहाँ लगा दी सब applications.
Yes, sir.
So
You personally know what I have personally did is we have went full force in Vishal and Sai Life, all big HNIs in Vishal and all small HNIs in Sai, and few left money in retail. Sir, if and I'm also going to apply Yash high voltage like sir, to some 3-4 retail lots. But post that I'll just have 60K in my bank account. So even if I have what I cannot apply IKS. So that is the thing. And maybe I'll apply some retails 3-4, but milna to nahi hai. That you know and I know now everyone knows. मतलब यार this IPO is no like a demand supply game. Supply is limited, demand is, I won't say it's crazy demand. The demand is medium, but supply is very low, so the premiums are looking. Now let's see what happens, but I'll surely put my more time. Tomorrow I have a bad schedule, but still I'll try to reduce my sleep and try to put it today. But yes, it's on hold mode for me as of now. I haven't taken a final decision on it.
got it. I just want to mention that when we had seen this company the first time and the GMP the first time, we thought that it won't sustain. So if it has sustained for so long, maybe there's something which we don't understand right now. So be careful with respect to that fact per se, and then only take your decision basis that. In the interest of time, we'll quickly move on. Just one last thing which I want to check with you, Tanmay, is the anchor book. I'm not sure if you covered what is on the anchor book, any good names that you see. And in the
Sir, I
meanwhile,
think
if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to post them in the chat regarding IKS. Yeah, go on.
Sir, I think that day I was a bit out. I'm yet to post the anchor book on my handle. I personally haven't went in very depth of the anchor book, but on prima facie level, it was very good.
Got it. Maybe with that, what we'll do is that we'll move on and talk about the next company. Before that, just want to highlight that if you're joined in between and you're seeing this for the first time, go ahead and follow the YouTube channel as well. उसको ऊपर link है, so आप उसको follow कर सकते हैं and उसके basis पे आप अपना view डाल सकते हो. हम ये space record करके वहाँ पे डाल देते हैं उसी दिन. So you can also listen to these IPO reviews at your own leisure. And thank you so much, guys, for all the love that you guys have been sending us. Irrespective of what happens in the listing, we are just happy that we were able to share our view and it was resonated with a lot of people. Having said that, let's move on and talk about one small SME. I understand there's a question कि आप एक cut off size decide कर लो उसके नीचे की SMEs don't cover SMEs which are smaller than that. But it's just that जब कुछ भी नहीं होता है तो ये SME आती रहती है तो time pass चलता रहता है बस से. And I feel the next company which I'm going to talk about is again one such SME which will have a crazy subscription. Nobody will get it, and then there might be some khela happening in that, and then people will forget it in some time, or it will just go crazy depending on whether someone is able to corner all the shares or not. Having said that, let me talk about the next company probably in the next 5 minutes and close it there. I promise not to take more than 5 minutes. I'm talking about Hamps Bio Limited. The company is engaged in marketing and distribution of pharmaceutical products like tablets, syrups, etc., and also does some freeze-dried product segment and has over 180 SKU across the two segments. Talking about the IPO details, it's a very, very small IPO, 6 CR IPO, 6.2 CR at a market cap of 22 CR. So essentially, and it's a fixed price IPO, so like at max 500 to 550 lots would be there in total. So very easy for someone to just corner it completely. In terms of the FY24 financials, the company did 6.5 CR revenue and a PAT of 50 lakhs. 50 lakhs, and is coming at a 22 CR market cap. So not even going towards PE calculation because it doesn't make sense to look at PE in such small companies. In terms of the LM, the company's LM is Marwadi Chandrana Intermediary Brokers. It's their first issue. So just talking about Hamps Bio, what the company does is, as I said, it has two segments. Pharmaceutical products बनाती है एक, और जो दूसरी है वो FMCG में काम करती है, जो कि फ्रीज ड्राइड और फ्रोजन प्रोडक्ट होते हैं. तो फार्मास्यूटिकल में क्या होती है, टेबलेट, सिरप्स, कैप्सूल जो होते हैं, ये बनाती नहीं है, सॉरी, मार्केटिंग एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करती है उसका. सो ये जो है, ये कंपनी 2007 में बनी थी, तब से ये करते आ रही थी, और उनका जो रेवेन्यू इससे स्टेबल चल रहा था. फॉर द फर्स्ट 10 years इट हैज बीन डूइंग दैट. What it does is it just sells the medical. It has like 100 SKUs, 100 प्रकार के SKU इसके, टेबलेट, सिरप, कैप्सूल वगैरह बना के ये बेचती है कंपनी. मोस्टली गुजरात में 90% रेवेन्यू गुजरात में आ रहा है. टेबलेट 67% है, इंजेक्शन 30% है. बट इसमें ये क्या, मैंने बहुत इंटरेस्टिंगली देखा, रेवेन्यू तो कुछ भी नहीं है. रेवेन्यू आप देखोगे कंपनी का बेसिकली अराउंड FY24 में 3.6 CR आ रहा है. इसमें 3.6 CR, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द रेवेन्यू जो है ना, वो क्या है, ये क्या करते हैं, कोई एक ब्रांड चल रही होती है ना, उसको कॉपी कर लेते हैं. तो जैसे लूपिन की ना एक सिरप आती है ग्लाइकोसेफ करके, तो इनने भी अपनी ग्लाइकोसेफ नाम से दवाई बना के बेच दी, और उसको वो तो लोगों को क्या यूजुअली पता नहीं होता, वो बोलते ग्लाइकोसेफ दे दो, तो वो नहीं चेक करते कि लूपिन ने बनाई कि किसने बनाई. दैट्स हाउ दे एसेंशियली डू. सो लूपिन ने जैसे इन पे 2012 में केस फाइल किया हुआ है फॉर यूजिंग देयर ब्रांड ग्लाइकोसेफ. सिमिलरली एक और सेफेक्स करके कंपनी ने इंगा ने इन पे किया हुआ है फॉर यूजिंग देयर ब्रांड. सिमिलरली ब्रोमिनेक्स्ट करके ये दवाइयां, बेसिकली जो भी लार्ज प्लेयर्स हैं उनके ब्रांड हो जाती है ना, कि जैसे हम बोलते हैं ग्लाइकोसेफ ले आओ, तो दैट्स द प्ले वेयर दे क्रिएट दोज ब्रांड, यूज देयर ब्रांड मार्क्स. एंड इन पे अभी ये 3 लिटिगेशन भी चल रहे हैं जिसमें इनने ये यूज किए, और इनके लिटिगेशन का अभी तक कोई वो नहीं आया है. दीज 3 मटेरियल लिटिगेशंस आर गोइंग ऑन. बट हैविंग सेड दैट, द रेवेन्यू इज सो स्मॉल, 3.5 करोड़ का रेवेन्यू है, कि it doesn't make sense to look at that as such. The one part of the business which I like is the FDFP business, which is frozen dried powder. वो ऐसा होता है, वो होता है ना, स्ट्रॉबेरी पाउडर होता है, जामुन शॉट पाउडर होता है, मैंगो पाउडर होता है. कंपनी वो बनाती है, और वो खुद बनाती है, और उसके बाद B2B B2C चैनल में बेचती है. B2B में वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करते हैं दूसरे के लिए लगभग 20%, और वो कम हो रही है ओवर टाइम. पिछली बार 35%, विच इज अ गुड थिंग, कि अब 80% खुद की ब्रांड से बेच रहे हैं, और Amazon पे बेच रहे हैं, फ्लिपकार्ट पे बेच रहे हैं, Amazon EU पे बेच रहे हैं, US में बेच रहे हैं. इनफैक्ट 23% एक्सपोर्ट है, 23% एक्सपोर्ट है, विच हैज बीन इंक्रीजिंग, सो विच इज अगेन अ गुड थिंग. इन टर्म्स ऑफ द कैपेसिटी, दे हैव बीन ओवर यूटिलाइज देयर कैपेसिटी. ये जो फ्रोजन ड्राइड प्लांट वाली है, they have used around 116% capacity this time, and they are raising the funds in order to buy new machinery majorly. 6 CR में से 3.5 CR की वो न्यू मशीनरी लेंगे, और 50 lakhs वो यूज करेंगे फॉर मार्केटिंग एक्सेट्रा. बट द प्रॉब्लम, द कंपनी सो स्मॉल, प्लस आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज दैट बिग अ मोट कि आप वो फ्रोजन ड्राइड पाउडर बना रहे हो, फ्रूट्स और बेच रहे हो, तो उसमें कोई और भी बनाने लग जाएगा. सो इट इज नथिंग इज प्रूवन इन द कंपनी इन टर्म्स ऑफ इट्स सेल्स. सो इट्स अ कंप्लीट अवॉइड फ्रॉम माई एंड. बट अगर मैं फाइनेंशियल्स की भी बात करूं, तो FY24 में मैंने जैसे बोला 50 lakhs बनाए कंपनी ने, FY25 में 34 lakhs बनाए शुरुआत के 7 महीने में. कुछ कंपनी हैज बीन स्टडीली ग्रोइंग. इट्स जस्ट दैट सच अ स्मॉल सेगमेंट कि मुझे लगा ही नहीं कि इसको रिव्यू भी करना चाहिए. कंपनी फिर भी 44 के पीई पे आ रही है FY24 पे, और 38 के पीई पे आ रही है FY25 के एनुअलाइज पीई पे. बट वो इतना ज्यादा है कि कंपनी की साइज इतनी छोटी कि डजंट मेक सेंस टू even study this company. और LMB पहला है, so I think because of that also it may do well issue. So अगर आपके पास एकदम ही फ्री मनी हो, and if you want to take a risk, definitely go play gamble. but इसमें मुझे लगता ही नहीं अलॉटमेंट मिलेगा, because it's such a small issue, and तब कोई और IPO भी नहीं आ रहा है. From what I was seeing, it's colliding with IGI. So एकमात्र Mainboard IPO है, SME वाले सब फ्री बैठे होंगे. So there will be a lot of applications in SME in going in this. So I don't anticipate a scenario where retail would be I definitely anticipate a scenario where retail would be 700x, 750x. So if you want to try your luck, it's a lottery. I think it might either open at 90% or open at 20%. There's no middle ground. So GMP नहीं, but negative list तो probably नहीं होगा. So you can take a punt if you want to, but again, it's such a इससे बहुत better. If I get this, I would be a very, 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 very lucky person. So that is what my review was with respect to Hamps Bio. Going to avoid this issue because again, इतना छोटा issue है कि उसकी बात करना भी slightly irrelevant चाहिए. Now going back, maybe before I start, we'll go back to the next company, which is IGI. But before we do that, I have one question on IKS, Tanmay, which I wanted to ask you. Which is that how was IKS able to manage a EBITDA margin of 38% pre-merger? Anything that you read with respect to that? Because the acquired entity just at 12%, right? So, why is there so big a difference? Anything that you read on that?
Sir, see, the major difference, what I personally feel, is the manpower. India's manpower and USA's employee costs, there's a huge difference. I feel that, I am telling what I personally feel. I haven't checked the data, but this is the major reasons in the acquisitions done from various IT companies in past. And this should be only the reason because Equity is a pure play USA based Nasdaq company. So I feel that employee expenses is changing the room, and this is basically a 2000, I think 6-8 kind of a very old company which is scaling in the USA market. So this, I guess, has that operational efficiencies and what we can say back-end structures which Equity might not have so they would have sold this company. Because if you just check at what valuation it was acquired, it was acquired at 1600 crores, which was not even 200 million USD. And they got a company which was doing a revenue of roughly 1350 crores at 1600 crore valuation, and now they're offering their company at 22,000 crore valuation at 2650 crores post console revenue. Matlab yaar, I couldn't
Understood.
understand it. Why is
Understood.
there?
So essentially, it is a long-term story play where you think कि अगर यूएस से जो एम्प्लॉय कॉस्ट बचा के यहाँ पे लाया जाएगा और उस EBITDA मार्जिन पे डाल दिया जाएगा, तो आप उस सो वन इंटरेस्टिंग वे टू रीड दिस कंपनी कैन बी कि अगर उसी रेवेन्यू पे मैं पुराना प्री कंसोल का पैट मार्जिन मान के देखूं तो किस पैट पे मे बी दैट इज द स्टोरी विच इज बीइंग सोल्ड सो दैट समथिंग विच यू कैन लुक एट
सर सी,
जस्ट टू हाउ
मैं इसमें दो तीन चीजें बता देता हूँ. पहला, इनका FY24 just that 4 months consolidation EBITDA, just put slash that EBITDA margin by 720 basis points. मतलब 38% का जो EBITDA FY23 था pre acquisition, that fallen to 30.8%, 30.8 percentage just for that 4 months, I think 4 or 5 months numbers, and it fallen to 28% in H1. मतलब इससे आपको दो चीजें समझ में आती है. पहला ये कि H1 में अगर इनका कंप्लीटली अक्वायर्ड एंटिटी का अपने पास अगर फाइनेंशियल्स है और उसका EBITDA मार्जिन फ्रॉम 30.8% से जो आइडियली 25, 26, 27% आना चाहिए था, वो अगर 30% पे रुक रहा है, 28% पे रुक रहा है, इसका मतलब ये है कि दिस कंपनी ही स्ट्रांगली वर्किंग ऑन दैट इक्विटी टू जस्ट, आई वोंट से टर्न अराउंड वर्ड, आई एम नॉट यूजिंग दैट, बट जस्ट एटलीस्ट टू स्टेबिलाइज दोस ऑपरेशंस. So this company is trying largely. I feel they would have done doing the layoffs surely, because ऐसा तो एक झटके में पिंटा तो नहीं ग्रोथ होता है, तो layoffs ही किए होंगे surely. But at FY26 we can consider if they are able to maintain the margins at 32%. What I personally feel is they're like kind of 3500, like 600 crore PAT is very much, 500 600 crore PAT is very much possible. But still on those numbers, the company has valued at roughly 40-45 times, which is not at all attractive.
Got it. So maybe with that we have covered IKS as well as the second company, which was Hamps Bio. Now we'll move forward and talk about the last company for the day, which is IGI, International Gemmological Institute. The company is a globally recognized organization certifying and grading diamonds, gemstones, and jewelry. It operates 31 laboratories worldwide that grades finished jewelry, natural diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, and gemstones. So basically, it's like it gives certification to the diamonds. What is the carat? What is the purity? So maybe we'll talk about that, how specifically that does. And it also has 18 gemmological schools. So it also creates a breed of those people who are able to like certify the diamonds and are able to see and value those diamonds per se. So it's a very, very interesting company. Has a huge market share as well across the world. We'll talk about that. But yeah, just setting it up in terms of the IPO details, the company is coming up with an IPO of 4,225 CR, out of which around 1,500 CR is a fresh issue. And the company is valuing itself at a market of 18,000 crores. In terms of the financials are at a calendar year level and not a financial year level. The calendar year revenue is 650 CR and a PAT is 324 CR. So like 50% PAT margin level company. The LMs for the company are Axis, Kotak, Morgan Stanley, and SBI Capital. So with that, Tanmay, do you want to go ahead and share your read of IGI?
Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
So International Gemmological Institute of India Limited, IGI, is engaged in certification and accreditation services to natural diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, popularly known as LGD, studded jewelry, colored stones, and it also offers various educational programs like institutes where the lab-grown experts and researchers are trained. IGI India IGI is one of the world's top three. I won't say top three. There are only three players in the world. It is one of the top three players with full stack product offerings. What does this mean? There are only three companies in world. One of them is GIA, which is I think Gemmological Institute of America, which is a not for profit organization, so it cannot get listed anytime. And the third one is a very small company, 2% I guess market share. This is just the one of those three companies which has end-to-end services. Ranging from certification, grading, testing, and all that, accreditation, all that services. IGI India was world's first international laboratory for diamond studded and colored raw materials. See, this concept was started in 1999 by IGI India only. This was world's first laboratory. So it's not, it's a second player, third player. It was the pioneer. IGI India is world's largest lab-grown diamond certifier. It has a market share of 65% in world. Not in India, I'm saying it's world. मतलब जो ये लैब ग्रोन डायमंड्स का आजकल बूम चल रहा है पिछले 1-1.5 साल से, उनका जो सर्टिफायर है, IGI is world's largest in it. It's first mover and unbeatable company in those terms. Okay, there is one more interesting point that IGI serves 9 out of top 10 jewelry chains in India. Sorry, globally. मतलब जो top 10 jewelry chains है दुनिया में, उसमें से 10 में से 9 IGI ही सर्व करता है उन्हें. एंड इन इंडिया 100 crore प्लस रेवेन्यू करने वाले जो लैब ग्रोन डायमंड्स की कंपनीज है, ऐसी वो 5 to 6 कंपनीज को सर्व करता है. फिर दैट नंबर विल गो 7 ऑन द Q4 or we can say fourth quarter numbers. So this company actually has a very solid presence globally. I'll just provide their global structure after telling the issue size and the division of them. The company is raising 4,225 crore, out of which 1,475 crore will be a fresh issue. Fresh issue is raised in the fresh issue of 1,475 crores. 1,300 crores will be spent towards acquiring IGI Belgium and IGI Netherlands. Okay, I'll explain the structure in just next 30 seconds. And the rest 2,750 crores is going as an offer for sale done by BCP Topco, which is subsidiary of Blackstone, which is one of the world's top 10 private equity players. Okay, I'll just explain the structure now. You just need to hear to me for next 5 minutes very carefully. There's a holding company, BCP Topco. Okay, BCP Topco is a holding company which is the subsidiary of Blackstone, which is the world's one of the top 10 private equity funds. This BCP Topco has 3 subsidiaries: IGI India, IGI Netherlands, IGI Belgium. IGI India owns IGI Turkey. Okay, now what the first subsidiary is? IGI India, which owns IGI Turkey. These 2 labs, or I won't say 2 labs, these 2 geographies, their combined entities listing in the Indian market, on whose IPO we are going to put our money. It has 2 more subsidiaries, BCP Topco, okay, the parent, IGI Netherlands and IGI Belgium. IGI Netherlands has 4 more subsidiaries: IGI UAE, IGI Israel, IGI Thailand, IGI Hong Kong. IGI UAE owns IGI Egypt and IGI Hong Kong owns IGI China. And the third subsidiary, IGI Belgium, owns IGI USA. Now what this IPO, for what this IPO is going to be raised? From this fresh issue of 1,300 crores, IGI India will take over the IGI Netherlands and IGI Belgium from Blackstone's holding, Blackstone subsidiary BCP Topco. So now how will the post-consolidation, post-acquisition group look like? I'll now just tell you that structure. Okay. IGI India, the parent, now say first of all, Blackstone subsidiary BCP Topco. BCP Topco will own post money 76% of IGI India. IGI India will then have 3 subsidiaries. One will be IGI Belgium, IGI Netherlands, and the third one will be IGI Turkey. and then the rest similar structure of 6 countries below IGI, Belgium, that is not required to tell again. So what is the game plan behind this IPO? Blackstone wants to make IGI India a global entity and holding parent company of world's all the IGI laboratories, which are total 19 laboratories. Now, one may ask, what special is in IGI Netherlands and IGI Belgium? I'll explain it in very crisp. See, if you know the data, world's 95% diamond cutting is done in India. So the manufacturing and grading and testing of diamonds is done under the entity of IGI India. Now, why IGI Belgium and IGI Netherlands is made? More 5-6 countries that I no need to tell, because if I tell the first two, you will automatically get why the next 6 countries entities are made. IGI Belgium and IGI Netherlands are the marketing subsidiaries of IGI as a group, as a whole. Now, why the marketing subsidiaries are made? If you can just check out the data, world's largest diamond market is in the Europe and the Dutch side of the Europe, especially Netherlands and that rest region, and then it comes to the Italy, Germany and all that European part. But it's manufactured in India. Just to streamline the operations, the subsidiaries were opened in IGI Belgium and IGI Netherlands to just look the marketing things at a streamline level. So now what this company, what Blackstone, the private equity, is trying to do is acquiring those entities and making a console level of holding company where the inter subsidiary or inter entity costs are eliminated to generate efficiencies. Now I'll make one thing very clear. These marketing agencies have a good revenue. I will also tell those numbers, but they are just, I think they are working on a 2%, 3% kind of a PAT margin, because those are marketing agencies. They are not the manufacturers or the supplier. They are just a very rough word. They are just trading companies who are just marketing the diamonds or selling those to the retailers or even selling themselves. So I'll now come to its financials. First of all, this is not a financial year company. What is financial year? 1st April to the 31st March of next year. But what is calendar year? 1st Jan to 31st December of the similar year. Like, what is CY24? 1st Jan 24 to 31st December 24. CY is done. CY23, the company did a revenue of 491 crores. The PAT was 242 crores. EBITDA margin was roughly 65%. CY24, I just told you the CY22 numbers. Okay, CY22 is 491 crores revenue and 242 crores PAT. CY23, okay, revenue jumped to 638 crores from 491, and the PAT jumped from 242 to 325 crores. Okay, and now the numbers of first 3 quarters of CY24, means current financial, are provided, which is till the September. The revenue is 596 crores. Now just hear it again. Complete CY23 was 638 crores of a top line. The company did 596 in just first 3 quarters. And the PAT for complete year CY23 was 326 crores. The company delivered a PAT of 326 crores in just 3 quarters, and 4th is due. And now, post acquisition, the CY23 numbers will look like a revenue of 840 crores from 638, but the PAT would almost be similar, because 2 to 3 subsidiaries of the post-acquisition group are loss-making. Okay, now just need to check on these views, and the management has clearly said that our EBITDA margin, which is currently at 72% till the Q3 of CY24, will fall to roughly 56%. Now, when you are looking at the quarterly numbers or even the results at the IPO times, you should take your mind in the consideration that the EBITDA margins are going to fall. Because the marketing agencies which do a EBITDA margin of 5-6%, I'll just tell you first the revenue bifurcation. If IGI as an institution, means all global entities at a group level, makes 100% revenue, 72 to 74% revenue is delivered by IGI India, which is going to get listed. But post-listing, this 26 to 28% revenue, now just think at a rational level, 72 to 74% revenue at 72% EBITDA margin. at 26 to 28% revenue at roughly 4 to 5% EBITDA margin, which will drag the EBITDA down to 56 to 58%, and eventually they'll scale it up again to 60% plus from next financial year. So this is a very clear, crisp kind of a thing. Now I'll just come at the valuations. This company is delivered is offered at a market cap of 18,021 crores. At CY23 it's at 55p, 55, and CY24 at TTM basis it's at 41 times. But if I just check out, I'll not go on that forward numbers, so sorry. But I'll now just tell you why I like this company. Okay, my simple question to all the viewers here: you just tell me a single company out of the 5,000 listed companies in India which has a dominant position or a leadership or even a reasonable market share at any product of any scale, be it a mid cap, small cap, large cap, any product in globally. Any one of you will not have any answer except one can just guess and say Pidilite, which is an okay kind of answer, but no Indian entity, be it SGFC, be it Reliance, be it any IT company, be it any defense company, be it any aerospace company, be it a manufacturing company. No one is at that level which has a leadership at any product globally. And this company has post-console almost 35 to 40% market share globally and 65 to 70% in the LGD globally, which is growing at a CAGR of 40% plus. So India is going to witness such a company which has a global dominance. And I feel this company which has a global dominance, that too, which is growing at a consistent revenue CAGR of 30 to 35%, which can even go to 35 to 40% bracket from next financial calendar year, should get a crazy multiple. Now, you should just compare this company with someone like BSC, CDSL, or Protein. Now, I'll just come on Protein. If you just check its FY17 numbers, FY17, the numbers of FY24 are lesser than FY17. This company hasn't delivered a single quarter from last 8 years, total 35 quarters. Not a single quarter. Protein e-governance, a listed company of 8 to 10,000 $1 billion market cap, hasn't delivered a single number, but it's trading at 90 times. Why? Due to the leadership in the public digital public infrastructure. That too is not a monopoly. It's just a monopoly in the stock markets. There is two more companies of similar nature which are available in the unlisted space, which are doing much well than Protein. But if a company with minus negative growth, with a nonsense or unutilizable cash balance can trade at 90 times, a 35% growing CAGR company with an absolute monopoly, and this is the first listing globally in this space and the only, because the third one has 2% market share. And that 500,000, 2,000 crore market cap is not going to make any kind of sense in front of this company. The largest one is GI, which is a not-for-profit organization, NPO in India, we called it, a Section 8 company. So I feel this is an extremely rare kind of a listing. And there is a more question I feel that I personally should clarify, that this company was sold to Blackstone in I feel August 23 at I think 45 for 5,000 crores, 5,500 crores market cap, and it's offered to Indian retail investors at 18,000. I feel IGI, this former promoters had some very bad litigations happening in the US courts. I think I'm not having the accurate court name or the amount of litigation on what was the litigation. I'll not go on that, but I know on what it was, but I don't want to go in that part. So just to get the entity out of this promoters litigation, it was sold at a dirt cheap value. And you know, when Blackstone owns some marketing agency of that similar entity, what Blackstone can do to just get this company in at a dirt cheap valuations. They have changed the global leadership. They have made CFOs of each entity. They have changed the governance style. The governance is top class. Now they are making a solid entity. They are growing at 35% CAGR. They have the right person. You just check who is the top. He's Mr. Printer, who is the face of this organization, who is in this company from 1999, from when this company was incorporated, and is still at that head position. And the management hasn't changed except the CFO who has been given from Blackstone, Mr. Iyer. I feel it's a top class company with solid financials. And for me, these valuations are, I think, mouth-watering. 34 times CY25. Market should even discount CY26 as this company is doing. Not doing a financial year. It's just 1 year away, and markets are going to discount its 2 years. I feel, and I want personally retailers to not see this company for listing gains. You should just hold this company. It is going to deliver a solid, long-term CAGR. If anyone aspires at having to keep a stock for 5 years, 10 years, this is a stock for you to keep. And it's going to deliver those returns, and it will get that crazy multiples in India. I will not be surprised if it gets a 80, 100 multiple for even a next financial year. I'm extremely excited for this. Listing gains will be surely made, but I don't want anyone to just go for the listing gains. I want everyone to apply it for the long term or as a portfolio stock. The institutions will try to drag this stock down, just like Vari Energies. The stock crashed after listing and then it suddenly picked up 50%, 40%. I don't want retailers to fall in that trap, and I want everyone to keep this stock in their portfolio. It can deliver crazy returns. Now just think from a second side. A small cap to mid cap kind of 18,000 crore market cap company at an extremely low float, 10% retail quota, and just dilution is done at, I think, 23% approx. Just roughly 4.5% equity will be in the free float. Crazy institutional demand, monopoly company, 35% CAGR, lab grown diamonds, biggest proxy. And the anchor book was extremely solid. So I'm all in this IPO, and the subscription levels are going to be extremely crazy because the Vishal, Sai and the SME's money is going to get unblocked for IGI. So I'm personally very excited for this.
Got it. Thanks, Tanmay, for your review. I have 2 questions on top of my head. फर्स्ट बीइंग कि जो एंटिटी खरीद रहे हैं वो क्या ब्लैकस्टोन ने उसी अमाउंट में ली थी जो पुराने अमाउंट में थी?
वो अलग अमाउंट है. दैट वाज अ डिफरेंट कंसीडरेशन, डिफरेंट अमाउंट एक्वायर्ड इन पास्ट.
अच्छा, so in a way वो अमाउंट लाइक
एक्चुअली ऑनेस्टली मैं बोलूं, एकदम ऑनेस्टली बोलूं तो पूरा आईपीओ ही ओएफएस है. ये फ्रेश नाम का डाला है.
हाँ, क्योंकि ओएफएस है, राइट? क्योंकि सारा पैसा ब्लैकस्टोन पे जा रहा है वो कंपनी. बट वो एटलीस्ट जिसमें उनने ली थी वो सीआर लाइक वो वैल्यूएशन अलग थी इन दो एंटिटीज की और पुरानी जो एंटिटी है, करेक्ट?
एंड सर आई थिंक व्हाई द ओएफएस कंपनी पे 500 करोड़ का कैश पड़ा है, तो क्या करेंगे फ्रेश इशू रेस करके? और ये कंपनी सर्विसेज बिजनेस है, दे डोंट नीड अ कैश ऑफ मोर देन 1500 करोड़ अ ईयर टू रन द बिजनेस. एक्सट्रीमली कैश रिच बिजनेस. आई थिंक इट डजंट मेक सेंस फॉर देम टू रेस अ फ्रेश इशू एक्चुअली.
Got it. Second question is, can it be said that its EBITDA margin will forever come down?
So, I'll go on that. I'll go crystal clear explanation. Actually, I have given partial. I'll just tell it very clearly. I personally feel CY24 at console level, which might get provided after the Q4 numbers. I think maybe next 1 month. I'm expecting a EBITDA console level margin at 50, I guess 55 to 56%. I have those numbers, but if my mood comes, I'll post those numbers. I have those numbers. I'll check and I'll try if I'm willing to post, I'll post in my final verdict shortly. But what I personally feel is this margins can go to that 60%, 58 to 60%, or 58 to 60% should be a very, very ideal. 80% chances are there. CY24 will have those 58 to 60% margins. Even 61, 62 is possible, but I am a kind of a conservative investor, so I know this company will do 58, 60% margins, and the PAT margin can be roughly 48 to 50%, which is damn good.
Got it. So, the end story which is coming along is that it's one of those stocks which you keep for longest term and then forget. Like keep and forget is how you will
company,
kind of look at this.
If the LGD trend is even continuing for next 5 years, which is highly likely, because the natural diamonds are precious, rare, but extremely costly. But LGD looks a rare one, but it's not. It's an affordable one, and first of all, diamond was a kind of a metro city commodity, or the richy kind of a cream layer of a country buys that product. But even a tier 2 town, a young couple can buy that LGD. And if that trend continues for 5 years, yeah, I'll not be surprised if this company comes in the Nifty Next 50 kind of a market cap of 60, 70, 80,000, $10 billion market cap. And it's highly, highly possible. Because the TAM is huge. The management is real. The people are very old. And yes, it has all the resources to do that.
Got it. So I don't think I have any questions. Anything that you want to add before we can just talk about closing comments and then wrap up the space and just highlight this space for tomorrow? Hey, Tanmay, you are on mute if you're saying something.
So please ask the question again.
I was just saying I don't have any more comments. I think we can close the space now. Just want to highlight what you are planning to do. I will just start with my side. I am planning to put retail lots in IKS for the lack of money because everything is blocked already. And then whatever comes back, I'll put in IGI. And then Hamps Bio, which we covered, I'm going to skip that issue simply because the size is so small. So about these three companies, if you can tell, and then we can talk about the
Sir, I
remaining
think
three
Hamps
tomorrow.
Bio from actually I haven't read in depth, and I don't even want to read it. For me, it's clear about it. It will list. It might list well. It can do post listing, but I'm least interested. The first thing. The second one was IKS. Actually, I personally don't have an amount to apply more than 3 retails. So even if I had an opinion, that was of no use. I cannot apply more than 3 retails because I don't have that money. The third one was IGI. All the money is going to go in IGI, and there are some more issues which we will be discussing at a later point. And I think one more doubt was like how was the anchor book of IGI? I think I've already given that. It was very good, very very good anchor book, good demand. And just one more thing was I'm extremely excited for how the things go.
Got it. I am definitely very excited about Skylight. We'll talk more about it tomorrow. Just want to highlight we'll do a space tomorrow night as well, 9:30 p.m. So do join us. We'll be talking about three companies. Yes, high voltage, which seems a very, very moated business in T&D, transmission and distribution. Should definitely look at that to join that episode to talk about the company. उसके अलावा हम नेगडेक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और आइडेंटिकल ब्रेन स्टूडियोज की भी बात करेंगे. So definitely join to listen with respect to these three companies, and maybe we'll also do a pre-listing show for Vishal or Sai, but no
Sir,
commitment on
next
that
week
front.
space we will have 3 or 4. How much Mainboard IPOs? 3 or 4? Mamta,
Do you
Venchiv
want
and
to share?
Transrail,
I
and I
think
think one more was there, I guess.
डैम
नहीं
कैपिटल आ रहा है
डैम
क्या?
तो यार एक्चुअली जो मुझे इनपुट है वो तो बोल रहे हैं 10 जनवरी के आसपास है. जितने जल्दी क्या पता क्या मतलब कहाँ से आ रही है डेट्स डोंट नो आइडिया. बट आई हर्ड कि इंडो फार्म आ रहा है. इंडो फार्म शायद.
इंडो फार्म ममता ट्रांसरेल
बट
3 तो
इंडो
आ रहे
फार्म
हैं.
का तो अभी तक शायद कल सर
एंड
कल
देन
उनका डेडलाइन था
वो
आरएसपी
भी
का
है
जो अभी तक नहीं आया. आई गेस वो
मेरिट
डिले हो
होटल
गया है.
वाला.
कल तो उनका डेडलाइन था आरएसपी का.
या
तो 3 तो पक्का आ रहा है मतलब
वो
वेंचिव जस्ट
मेरिट होटल
आरएसपी वाज
वाला
फाइल्ड लास्ट आवर. So Venture is also a Blackstone owned company just like this IGI, and it's the third core portfolio company for Blackstone after Aadhar, IGI, and the third one will be Venture Hospitality.
या So thank you so much guys for joining today. We will see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you everyone.